Late Night Health continues with Dr. Earl-Mindell and his brand new book, The Happiness Effect, how Nikola Tesla experiments led scientists to find a unique and safe way to overcome depression, relieve respiratory disorders, lower blood pressure, alleviate headaches, and supercharge your overall health. All right, how can I make negative ions at home, Earl?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, I talk about a whole chapter about you can wear a bracelet that has a couple of these rare earths, the rubidium, amethyst, tourmaline, that when they touch the skin, actually produce these negative ions. But
I'm sorry. Do we as humans naturally produce them ourselves?
Yes, no, we do. No, we produce negative ions, but unfortunately, our lifestyle in the 21st century is very conducive to producing positive ions. As I mentioned, all the electronic devices, we live in a very synthetic environment that there's no fresh air. It's unbelievable. But here's something that I think people will be very interested in. Anti-aging. I mean, who doesn't want to slow the aging process? Well, we know that one of the really important antioxidant negative ions called superoxide dismutase. Now, you might have never heard of SOD.
I have not.
Okay, it is the most potent of the antioxidants. And everybody knows about, I think they do, about antioxidants. If they don't, basically the antioxidants are the good guys that help protect you against the bad guys. The bad guys are called free radical oxygen molecules that speed up the aging process. So, example, take an apple, slice that apple in half, and take half the apple, put it on a countertop. What happens to that apple after a period of time?
It turns brown.
Right.
It oxidizes.
It rusts. Well, the same thing happens in your body. Now, the other half of the apple, if you just squeeze some lemon juice on it, you'd find it does not turn brown. It does not oxidize because vitamin C is one of the antioxidants. Well, the negative ions, one of them is superoxide dismutase, which is the most potent of the antioxidants. So
and where can I eat that?
Well, you don't eat it. It's made in the body. The body makes it. However, we're finding that there are, of course, supplements that will produce the SOD, but I like the idea of doing it naturally from the negative ions.
And with the bracelet can do that as well as...
you can get them. There's machines that produce negative ions, but also it never hurts to get out there in the fresh air I've told people if you're going to work in an environment, get an environment where you can at least open the window or something. I mean, it's terrible that, imagine, people are just in an environment where you're breathing in stale air, other people's, shall we say, problems.
Right.
And, for 8 hours or 10 hours a day.
When you fly on an airplane, do you wear a mask?
I don't wear a mask, but I tell you the truth, I haven't been on real long flights recently, but I remember a couple of years ago I went to Korea, and believe it or not, there were people that were exactly doing that because, you get someone on a airline that has a cold or flu or whatever, before you know it, everybody on the airplane can get infected.
I was on a plane last week coming home from Washington, D.C., and I had, was it last week, Daryl? Yeah, it was last week. I couldn't remember. I was coming back, and I had two issues. One, some woman was wearing a mask, and I thought, what does she know that I don't know? And then there was a little girl. I was in the aisle, and there was a little girl at the window, and her mom was in between us, and she was upchucking throughout the entire flight. And when I got home, I scrubbed my hands.
Right.
I showered, took all my clothes, and put them into the washing machine.
Right.
Hey, we're out of time. I can't believe it.
Oh,
so
too
fast.
bad, because I was going to tell you, cognitive performance. You say you're having problems with your memories? Guess what? Toyota in 2002 showed that negative ions can increase your cognitive performance.
And that would make your driving much better. Listen, we'll have to have you back. We'll talk next week. We're going to have lunch. Maybe we'll go for a hike in the Santa Monica Mountains.
All right.
Our guest, Earl-Mindell, go to Amazon to take a look at his book. You can also go to Late Night Health, look at the book, and there'll be a link to Dr. Mindell's website. All right, coming up, we're going to spend some time with Dr. Ed Group from the Global Healing Center. Hold on, Earl. I'm Mark Alyn. Don't go away. More coming up as Late Night Health continues.